Hi, this is Dr. Scott, and today we're going to get into this interesting question, and lots and lots of people are struggling with this one. So it says, "Well, will Joe or Kamala take us into World War II before Trump gets back in office?" It's a good point. It's a good question because people are wondering about this all the time. Like, if Trump, let's put it this way: today is the 3rd of January. The 25th Amendment that Trump talked about is kind of a dead issue because you normally need 30 days to put that thing in vogue. I thought it might be an issue, but obviously it wasn't. What Trump was really trying to tell you is Joe isn't all there. And we already knew that, right? Anyone who studied anything about him, whether or not you believe he's real or not, I mean, everywhere we go, they're saying the same thing. Joe isn't really real, or he's not really in charge. And when you hear cackling Kamala, who can't really put together sentences without being so ethereal, you go, what is she trying to say? This is the dumbest kind of person out there, right? And you have no idea what they're talking about. And so when you from the outside just note what you see, there's a couple things that you go with. If you just note what you think you see on the surface of it, you see two idiots who are running America and yet allowing anyone to run roughshod over us. And the answer is partly true. But do you think that Trump wouldn't have stepped in earlier, or the White Hats would have stepped in, or the military, who's promised an oath to the Constitution to protect from all enemies, foreign and domestic? Yes, we've had invasion issues going on around us. And every single one of those situations are ugly in and of themselves, but we haven't had what some people predicted of 50,000 people coming into, I mean, 50,000 Chinese coming into cities and wiping them out. We haven't had that. We've had incidences here and there. And listen, I hate them. I hate every one of those. I hate the people that were involved in doing this, and I hate the leadership for what they've done. But we still haven't seen that level of invasion, right? And that was predicted, by the way, in 2021, over and over again. So if that hasn't occurred, I ask you this question: are we going to see that point? Well, today's the third. Today's Friday the 3rd. January 6th is a really important day. January 6th is Monday the 6th. On Monday the 6th, electors have to get together, and through Congress and Senate, they have to confirm the election of Donald Trump. They have said over and again, Jamie Raskin over and again has said that we're just going to do a basic reverse of January 6th, where we say Trump can't win the election, he can't take the electoral ship, he cannot take they knew he was going to win the popular vote and the electoral vote. They knew it because they already saw the statistics, and they lied to you over and over again through the mockingbird media. And so what occurs for you is you look at that, you say, well, what are they going to do? Well, what they want to do is say, you know what, the 14th Amendment under the fourth section says, if you create interference or a type of insurrection to our governmental agencies, you cannot be in that position anymore. That's what they want to say about him. That's what they want to say about the 34 counts. And by the way, think about that: 34 counts, which is the 17th letter in the 34th edition that talks about the EBS. Do you get it? I mean, it's a calm in a way. And so we haven't been in that kind of war. They probably are going to try something. But do you think that the military is going to allow that? Do you really believe that we're going to be in that circumstance? Over and over again. Don't you think Trump has already heard about this stuff? Hasn't he checked into this? Yet people are saying over and over again in social media, but all the other people in social media are telling you that. Like, they're standing there with Clydesdale kind of responses. They're not really sitting back and going, wait a second, wait a second, hold on, sit back and think about this. Now, as a business owner and as a person who just thinks kind of off the wall on a lot of things, I tend to do that. I sit back and I have a problem and I look for unique ways around that. It's partly because I have a learning disability and a stuttering disorder. And because I've had to rewire the pathways in my mind with that learning disability. I don't think the way a lot of other people think. And so I come up with these weird creative ideas, and some of them might go, well, they're just stupid. Okay, you can go there with me and you can say that there are stupid ideas. But most people are looking directly what they see. And the answer is, you haven't kind of smelled the situation. I've seen Trump dance on stage. He's dancing before the thing. Is he dancing because he's about ready to get in office? I think he thought he believed that. Is he dancing because he wants everyone? I mean, he's just not listening to anyone else in their viewpoint or in their suffering and their frustration? I don't think that's the case. It's that he knows for a fact the military is not going to allow this kind of stuff. But what is coming, listen to me for a second, what is coming is a fear-based point. I've called this for years, a fake false flag. A fake false flag is the type of false flag that they put up there. Now, normally false flags are someone who dies in the middle of, lots and lots of people die in the middle of it, like 9/11, or like Titanic. Those are types of false flag events that are covering something else up. Now, do we have a CGI fake kind of event that comes on before an EBS? I think so. I think that's a very strong possibility. So would this happen? No, but you might feel like it's going to happen. That's what people are not seeing when they think of this kind of stuff. They see people who are influencing people toward that point. Hey, listen, if you knew that there was going to be a World War III event, because they're actually all telling you, why aren't we in Washington and ripping the people off the stage? Have you thought about that one? I see people who are black pillars all the time, and they throw their black pills up. We're all screwed. Nothing's going to get better. It's never going to happen. It's going to take years for this to be better, if it is being better. And I'm going, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Why aren't you out there doing something directly about it? Why aren't you taking office yourself? You see, why aren't they marching on Washington right now? We're not gonna march on Washington. Why? I'm not advocating. I wouldn't advocate that, because there is a military that knows what they're about to do, and they're announcing everything that they do, which is the most moronic thing in the history of the planet. They're telling you what they want to do. Don't you think that not just the enemies, but the good guys get it too? Be calm. Hold on. It's going to change in a dramatic way, and it has to happen in a pretty quick way. We're going to see this kind of thing change specifically from a legal issue of, more specifically, taking out those idiots in office. The Brunson case is first up on the platter. It basically says, because you didn't follow through your own processes from January 6th through January 16th, you just had to talk about the electors and show the fraud that was occurring in 2020. Because you didn't do that, and you didn't openly talk about that, you did not fulfill your oath of office. It also says you didn't sign your oaths of office with that too. And everyone, Congress, Senate, President, Vice President, all these idiots, including the 28,000 staff members that are involved with that, are out the door, not just out the door, see ya, you're fired, out the door in arrests because they didn't do it. They didn't do their job. And it's not just a job. I mean, you can fire someone like if someone doesn't, wipe down the tables as a busboy when I used to work as a busboy, I could be fired from my job, right? But then I could go get another job. But you're talking about an oath of office. And what happens if you don't fulfill your oath of office in the way that we're talking about? It is insurrection that they've accomplished. It's the 14th Amendment under the fourth section. They have created it against America. Trump hasn't. Guys, be calm. Know that this thing is getting solved. I'm okay. I'm chilling. I'd love it to happen earlier, but we know it's got to take some time. And they're waiting till, it seems like they're waiting till the last possible second. And then boom, it switches. Guys, you're not going to see Joe and Kamala. They have the nothing button. They keep pushing that button, but they can't do anything about it. They don't have ability to do this. There was a Fox and Friends episode, a portion of an episode, and they're going, we know it's not even the real Joe Biden in there. Like, they're all getting it. They all understand the circumstance. Be calm. It's going to happen.